Hey everyone. On my other channel, Larry Graves Canadian STUDMUFFIN, I do a lot of reaction videos, and I thought I would do one on this channel. And speaking of my other channel, I just uploaded worst music videos ever. So if you want to see some really bad videos and watch me react to them, please check it out. I'll have the link in the pinned comment or here. So anyway, this is the great drummer Buddy Rich on the Mike Douglas show in I'm not sure what year this is. Looks like about 68, maybe 69. And like I said, he some people say he was the best drummer of all time, and I can't argue with that. I've seen his drumming. But as a human being, he wasn't the nicest person. There's a famous audio of him, kind of going at his band members after a show, and a lot of swearing and everything. But anyway, this video, and I didn't watch all of it, but just part of it with what Buddy Rich was saying. I thought I would do a reaction. But this is also about music snobbery, which I try my best to not be a snob when it comes to other music that I don't care for. I know I've joked about bands like Nickelback and all that, but seriously, if someone out there is a fan of Nickelback and it brings them joy, then good for them. So before I do this reaction, I just wanted to post this comment that some of you might be aware of because I posted it in my community. But, once in a blue moon, yes, a comment gets to me. And it's usually to do with music. It's not, a personal attack I can take. I've been called ugly more than once. Or stupid or whatever. Boring. I did a video a few days back, and, because in the past, sometimes there might be a comment from somebody that maybe doesn't know my channel, and they'll say, you need to broaden your range in music. All you talk about is the Beatles or Sparks or whatever. Meanwhile, they don't know me, and I have a wide range of music that I do listen to. So in the video, I decided to make a playlist with 12 songs from a wide scope of genres. And it still didn't make somebody happy. From heavy metal, hard rock, singer-songwriter, old country, prog rock, fair enough range of music. I don't love every genre, and nobody loves every genre. But anyway, this person wrote, the C-Tack. Never any blues here. In fact, I called it. I knew there wouldn't be a mention of the blues genre on your playlist, even though you have the most radical deconstruction and reassembly of Howling Wolf ever attempted. That of Throat Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart. And then, they got kind of demanding. I'd like to know why you've made an end run around the blues repeatedly and consistently. Throat Mask, yeah, and then he tries to, tell me something that I knew years ago. Throat Mask cover trivia. That is a bass, not a trout, shown on the cover. Thank you. Thank you for the information. So I replied back, why are you attacking me? I like what I like. I actually love canned heat. I wasn't going to include them in the playlist, a blues track, but I wanted to keep the playlist just around 1 hour. But overall, I like other genres much more. Not everyone is a blues fan. I do like some blues music, but I'm not a huge blues fan. So people like that, they're kind of snobby and they don't get why you don't listen to what they like or love. It's, You know, and it's frustrating for me. It's especially with a video like that. I was thinking, oh, you know, I'm finally letting people know I won't get anybody bitching, and still somebody's not happy. And he never did reply. So on to this. This is, yeah, it's 17 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing, so we'll skip ahead a bit. And it's when Buddy Rich is talking about country music and Glenn Campbell and whatnot.
The following quotes were said about my next guest.
And that is, of course, Barbara Feldon from the great 60s series Get Smart.
He is the Maury Wills of the drums. Quote, his artistry is almost beyond belief, and he plays faster with one hand than most drummers play with two. Here's the drum wonder himself, Buddy Rich.
Ooh. Oh, sorry about that. Nice hair. And I just want to quickly say, Mike Douglas, I used to watch his show in the 60s, 70s. He was always, you know, I'm sure he wasn't in love with rock music. He might have liked it a little bit, I don't know. But he would have on, you know, John Lennon, of course, hosted with Yoko for a week. He was respectful of rock music. He had Kiss on. Can't think of, on the tip of my tongue right now, but Frank Zappa, he had Frank Zappa on, and a few other rock musicians. So, you know, props to Mike Douglas. So we'll get ahead here.
Middle-aged people, guys my age, really fantastic.
It's Get Mike today. I can't get that working, man.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
You know,
Barry Fitzgerald.
I know we've talked about it before, but I want to touch upon this. This
What?
man was a dancer before he was.
I think it's when, he's going to drum a bit, but George Lindsay from another great show, the Andy Griffith Show, comes on. So I think it's when he's on, he talks about country music. Let's see him drum a bit.
Second lesson.
I can do that. I can't do that.
Oh. Move over, Mike.
I'm tired. I'm tired of watching him. How can I say anything negative about Buddy Rich when seeing that, but I'm going to anyway. But that is, you know, there's going to be somebody, oh, Neil Peart is better. It's like, who cares? He's a damn good drummer. All right. Okay, here we go. There's George Lindsay, who was Goober, right? Was he Goober? Yeah.
Music from some of the curriculum.
That's on.
Buddy, you said that you don't like country music, so, and you have some definite feelings about musical tastes.
Absolutely. I think that it's about time that this country grew up in this musical taste. rather than making the giant step backwards that country music is doing. We try very hard to do things like the moon landing and our new cars and fashions and everything, all a step forward. And country music is a giant step backwards. It's so simple that anybody can sing it, anybody can do it, anybody can play it on one.
And what is wrong, if it is simple, what is wrong with that? And I like what, I did see this part before, I like what Mike Douglas says about, you know, they enjoy it.
One string. Right on. That I think it's about time that we learn that there has to be a higher degree of musical intelligence, and that we have to start listening to better things rather than the simple things. You know, our creators in jazz, the only art form.
I think that Buddy Rich should find a different hairstylist myself.
This country really has produced, and people like Art Tatum and Lester Young and Charlie Parker, some of the great giants of jazz, Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Benny Goodman, Count Basie. These people are giving something in music, they're giving of themselves, and yet they have Hall of Fame for a baseball player or a trophy for a football player who gets smashed, and the line is forgotten about the great jazz musicians who have given so much.
I'm glad you brought that up, because not enough respect is given to good musicians.
Absolutely not.
People kind of take it for granted.
Consider them.
People take it for granted, and they're. I think they should be respected, because I know, watching our guys,
right,
they're working every minute of every day.
Well, but so, you know, back in the 60s, what, you know, country musicians were working hard every day, right? Not that I'm a big fan of country music, but like I've said in that video about different genres, I like some old country music.
They're creative.
In bettering themselves.
That's what music is all about. It's creativity, you know. And I don't think you have to create too much, man, to be a hillbilly. You know, anybody can go and say, whang, whang, whang. Listen,
Buddy
he's
Rich,
a high school
and care
teacher.
of Buddy Rich, all the men.
He's a high school teacher, right?
That's right.
And his brain should tell him that country music is really outside, man. It's really simple, you know. And I think when you do a show like this, it's about time that the young people who may be viewing this thing realize that there's a lot more to music than just playing one chord or two chords and going out and trying to make
Buddy,
$1 million.
music makes various people happy in different ways. There are some people who use music as a kind of a tranquilizer, kind of a, you know.
Yeah, well,
I watch westerns.
I
watch westerns because it doesn't really tax my brain.
Yeah, because you know who's going to win.
I can go in the kitchen for 5 minutes and come back and get right back in. And
right, isn't that simple?
Yes.
Well, I'd rather think that Mannix can't make it on Friday night or Saturday night. You know, I'd rather think that he's being chased and can't win. It gives you something to think about. How's he going to get away? Or Mission Impossible. You know, although you know they're going to win, I don't know how they're going to win. And it gives me something to think about. And the same thing applies to music. You know, if I'm going to sit and listen to you sing, and I'm going to listen to Frank and Tony Bennett, I know that there's enough emotion there to carry me through whatever period of emotion I'm going through.
That's great company you just put me in, pal.
You know, if I have to listen to Glenn Campbell, man, that's like the cowboy Wayne Newton as far as I'm concerned.
That was, you know, that was uncalled for, because Glenn Campbell, besides being a really good singer, was an amazing guitarist, as most of you know. And, you know, he did a lot of studio work in the 60s, you know, the Beach Boys and whatever. And so him talking, you know, putting down Glenn Campbell like that is just, you know, it kind of turns you off of the person, even though he is a great drummer.
It's interesting that as the budgets for schools become more and more difficult, that they're dropping music from some of the curriculum.
That's unfortunate.
That hurts.
And that's tragic,
Very
because
unfortunate.
that is the beginnings of a familiarity with the language of music.
Now, I'll tell you something very, very interesting, Mike, if we have time. We just played a couple of high schools for some young, very young people. We played in Glassboro, and we played in Western Massachusetts, a high school in Western Massachusetts, where they have a jazz orchestra for young people. And we did a concert there a week ago Friday, and the average age was about 17. Nobody much older than 19 in the audience. And we have a couple of rock charts in the band that we played. And as soon as we started to play that, we lost them. As soon as we got into the jazz thing that the band is known for, you know, the kids were just hysterical. It was one of the great nights the band's ever had. And the same thing applied
Because he didn't yell at his band members.
when we were in Europe. The whole attitude in Europe is the jazz thing. You know, they got some excellent jazz musicians. England has one of the greatest bands. The band that plays behind Tom Jones is one of the great bands of all time.
That's
you know.
right.
So that there must be something said about the art form of jazz, you know, and we tend to not relate to the jazz thing. We like to think that the real American music is the cowboy sitting on top of the horse with one leg over the saddle, singing, you know, "Show me a home where the buffalo roam, and I'll show you a dirty house," you know.
What do you say about a Chet Atkins who plays, and you listen to him with the Boston Pops, or that kind of thing? You say,
well, what I try to do is listen to the Boston Pops and reject Chet Atkins.
He's even putting down Chet Atkins, one of the great, you know, early guitarists.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
Yeah, really.
No, I think he's
Really.
I
Listen.
think Chet Atkins is a virtuoso.
He's a virtuoso, unless you've heard guys like Charlie Christians. And when you've
I've
heard
heard
Charlie
Charlie
Christians, then you
Christian.
can't relate to Atkins.
See, that's what I mean about music snobbery. It's, I know from all these years on YouTube. I've dealt with it, believe me.
You know,
Funny,
it's like that other
now
cat.
you're getting
what's
into
it-
styles
Hold
now.
It. Hold it, I'm the guest. When you hear Boots Randolph, right?
Yes.
And you hear him play that funny thing that he plays, you know, yakety sax, which was like on the top 10 for an hour and a half. How do you listen to him and with the same ears try to listen to Lester Young or listen to Charlie Parker? You cannot do it, man.
That's, you know, how do you compare? For instance, I listen to Miles Davis and I listen to Ramones. I listen to Frank Zappa. I listen to Randy Newman. They're not comparable. I just enjoy them. It's just music, right?
Because the variance in the musical taste.
I'm trying to teach everybody out there that's watching me. I'm trying to teach you all about music and to not be a snob with other people if you don't like what they like. Thank you.
And the articulation and the ability and the heart and the time that we need to be a master like Lester Young was and left a mark for people like Stan Getz to follow. These people should be thought about, not these cowboys, man.
But
because
many of us don't have the education and music education.
you don't need
background to
you don't
listen
need
to
a
that.
musical education, man. You need some ears and you need some time to think about what people are producing. You know, it's like going to see a skin flick and a story like Love Story. There's a great difference, but they're both on the market. Now it's up to you, with a man with taste, to be able to discern which picture is the most valid, the one that you think can give you the most.
Do me a favor, buddy. Do some of your
You're
music
mad at me
for us.
now, right?
No, I'm not. I want you to play it. I want you to talk through your whole
Listen,
number.
you got a cowboy chart?
I still like.
He's going to play again. So anyway, I'll finish this and let him drum. Hopefully, you know, unless this is copyrighted. And I would love your thoughts on everything about what Buddy Rich said. Your thoughts on that comment I received. I've already received a lot of feedback, and I thank you. Everybody's sticking up for me so far. But, I mean, there's always going to be people out there, I realize that. But it still irks me, right?
What do you say, Joe, baby? Cut it off.
See, I can listen to that. Not that I would run out and buy a CD of it, but I enjoy it. I'd also enjoy old country music. I'm not clapping because I don't like Buddy Rich now. No, but that was good too. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm looking forward to your comments, and please remember to like the video and subscribe. Bye.